The best performing stocks on Wall Street? Apple, Nvidia? Well, actually, it might surprise you that AppLovin and Palantir have absolutely lit up Wall Street. We're also going to talk briefly about Palantir. Don't miss this one because I'm going to show you what levels matter and how to find the next big moves. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hey, I'm Scott, and I've been a pro trader for 10 years. In these videos, I'm going to teach you everything I've learned so you don't have to learn the hard way. Remember to follow and share the channel, and also have your alerts on because I'm going to give you a lot of updates and you want to be the first to know. Taking a look at the biggest moves over the past year in the stock market, we have Palantir up 500%. We also have AppLovin up 429%. Now, it might surprise you that you don't see the names on here like Apple, Tesla, Amazon. Actually, Nvidia is not even on this, okay? So what we wanna do, we're gonna dive into the chart and see what the heck's going on and why this stock's up so much, all right? So let's go over to App. Now, this is App on the 1 week chart, all right? Now, you can see it IPO'd back here in 2021. It had a little bit of a rally and then it had a huge sell-off into the 2022 bear market. It bottomed out in the bear market. You can see a little head and shoulders pattern down here. Let me show you what I mean by that. You've got your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder bottoming pattern, all right? And essentially, that's how you find these bottoms in the bear market. You need it to set up, all right? That took some time, really. But you also had the bottom, then you had this exponential move up 5,600% for App, all right? Now, here's a hack. If you like stocks, I want you to know you really must use finviz.com, all right? So right now, I want you to pull up finviz.com, type in APP in the search window, go to AppLovin, all right? You're gonna use this for your favorite stocks moving forward. You always wanna know how many shares float is the stock. You wanna know that about 4 or 5% of the float of the stock is being short by institutions or retail. All right, that's not a lot. You want to ideally see 20% or higher if you want to see a nice short squeeze for the stock to go even higher. All right, so I'd rather see this number a little higher. All right, but the other thing you want to notice is basically the volume. It has a lot of volume, around 6 million in volume. That's very good. So this is a heavily traded stock. This is a stock that I would probably day trade and swing trade. All right. Now, let's go back to the chart. So we know it's a low floater, all right? We know it bottomed out. We know it moved up 5,600%. We know that it pulled back. Now, there's another pattern that I see here. Let me just show you this pattern. So remember the pattern I just showed you down at the bottom? Well, right here, we have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Now, this is actually an inverse head and shoulders continuation pattern. These are either found at the bottom, like in the bottom of the bear market, or they can be found before a continued move higher. So if this is another inverse head and shoulders pattern, then we could expect a move higher for App. All right, now we know it's a low float stock. Stay ahead of the game with real-time trade alerts. Hit subscribe and turn the notifications on so you're always the first to know about the latest stock and crypto moves. Your financial freedom is just one click away. Let's crush those gains together. Now, this stock beat earnings on August 6th. It did very well, all right? Now, it's made some nice moves, and we can look at this pattern. Now, we're gonna dive deeper into this pattern because we have a stochastic RSI cross up, that's good. We also have RSI postured up over 50, that's also good. The only thing I don't like is this. You can see on the chart, this RSI relative strength is starting to get a little bit droopy here. So what we need is actually this breakout to hold above 50. As long as RSI stays over 50 on the weekly, we're good, all right? Now, let me clear up this chart and let's take a look at what we can expect next. By the way, follow me on Crypto Bro Alerts on X. If you want to get trade alerts for things like Palantir, which is the other one that's way up, that was a buy alert at $14, okay? And I think it recently hit 180. Don't miss these alerts. Now, looking at the weekly, let's really zone in here. And what I like to do is I like to pull a volume profile. So in TradingView, I go over here to the fixed range volume profile. I go to this breakup candle. I click it once. I drag it across this trading range. I click it again, and it shows me every single thing I need to know about this pattern. And that's what you're going to learn when you start following, or you can even do better than that, learn how to trade inside the FFA. That link's in the description. Now, you can see this volume over here, all right? That's all that matters in the market is volume. That's money. The money line is the point of control right here. It's at 341. 341, above that level is bullish for app. Below 341 leans bearish, level to level. So I'm going to quickly draw out my levels. I'm going to do a horizontal line. The red line here is the value area high. I'm going to make it red, all right? The midline here is the money line, the point of control, all right? Let me make that one yellow so we know that's the point of control. And then the bottom line is the value area low, meaning odds are you're going to bounce from that level in this range, all right? So let me make a horizontal line. And we're going to make that one green just for our reference to make this easier. And let me delete out the volume profile to make it clean. All right, here's a clean chart, level to level. Your levels here on AppLovin, 340 would be a very good buy if you got it. 266 would be an even better buy if you got it. Not financial advice, manage your risk. But this thing looks like it wants to try to do a breakout. Now, that said, we have to see the bearish case. If we get bearish divergence playing out and SRSI curls back down, the equal case can be made here that you're seeing a actual topping pattern. This is a left shoulder, head, and then the right shoulder has to come in lower than the head. So basically, under 523 is validation for a pullback. And this does look a little bit due for a pullback. And what do I mean by that? Let me show you exactly what I mean by that. I'm going to go to the Fibonacci retrace tool. I'm going to go from this wick low back in March up to this wick high, and a pullback to the 382, which is very bullish, would not be out of the question. That's right around our buy level, the POC at 342. So if you wanted to take a short with a stop above 536, and look to cover it down here and flip long right around 342. All right, that would be a buy alert. That said, this is not financial advice, okay? I'm just letting you know, when you trade, you want to put the odds in your favor and always manage your risk. So let's take a look real quick what something like that would look like. I'm going to come over here to the trading tool. We're going to look at what a short position would look like. It would look something like this. I'd put my stop above the wick high, looking to short it back down into this POC. So there's your short setup. You got more reward than your risk. And then your long setup, you would be patient and you would wait for price to come down here, and then you would flip long. You're gonna have to put your stop under some structure, probably under 309, and then you're gonna trade it back up into all-time highs, all right? So you look at taking two separate trade setups, something like this, a short and then a long, always managing your risk, all right? So that's how you wanna trade. You want to properly adjust your risk to reward. But if you don't know how to trade, you can learn. Follow me on X, and also check out the FFA. Get on the free email list. Why not? We'll give you some nice trade alerts, all right? I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I can't wait to see you soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hey, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Also, click the link in the description. You can join the Financial Freedom Academy email list. We're going to give you free market updates every Wednesday, trading tips, and insider information you don't want to miss. Check it out.